Canon EOS M and Magic Lantern fans. Hope you're all doing well and still creating magic with this little powerhouse of a camera. And before we jump into the video, I just want to take a moment, as always, to say a big thank you to everyone who's been following this project, leaving comments, and supporting the channel. It truly means a lot and really helps keep this whole thing growing. So today's video is a little different from what I usually share here on the channel. Lately, I've been getting a lot of requests to talk about my workflow, how I handle and process my footage, and honestly, it's probably one of the most asked questions I get. If you've been following the channel, you might have seen me touch on this topic briefly in some of my community posts, but that's really just a small glimpse of what my full process looks like. All right, let's get started. I'll try to break things down in a way that's easy to follow, not just for experienced users, but also for those who are just getting into this. So for some of you, parts of this may already be familiar, and that's totally fine. Now, once we've shot our footage using the EOS M with Magic Lantern, we end up with files in a format MLV, short for Magic Lantern Video. MLV is a raw video format developed specifically for Magic Lantern. It stores uncompressed or lightly compressed 10, 12, or 14-bit raw footage, which means we get incredible flexibility in post-production. You can recover shadows, pull back highlights, tweak colors, pretty much like working with raw photos, but frame by frame. The downside, these files are pretty large and they need to be converted before editing, but we'll get to that in just a moment. To open and convert MLV files, there are a few different tools available. The most popular and beginner-friendly option is MLV App. It's a free cross-platform application that works on Mac, Windows, and Linux. It lets you preview your raw footage, do basic color correction, apply LUTs, and export to ProRes, H2N64, or even DNG sequences for grading in DaVinci Resolve. Another option is MLVFS, which mounts your MLV files as virtual folders of DNGs, but it's more advanced and requires a bit of setup, so I'd only recommend it if you're already comfortable with raw workflows. Personally, I use MLV App. It's fast, intuitive, and gives great results right out of the box. I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to try it yourself. Now let's talk briefly about MLV App, the tool I use to process all my raw footage from Magic Lantern. It lets you easily adjust exposure, white balance, contrast, and color right inside the app. There's also support for LUTs, highlight recovery, and different debayering methods to control sharpness and detail. And honestly, for most cases, these tools are more than enough to fully color grade your footage and get it ready for your final edit. So if you're working with MLV files, MLV App is really all you need to go from raw to ready. But personally, I prefer to do most of my color grading in DaVinci Resolve. So in MLV App, I simply go to the right-hand panel, find the Profile section, and select Profile Preset, DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate. This preset is designed to give you a flat wide gamut image that's ideal for grading in DaVinci Resolve. It preserves all the dynamic range and color information from your raw footage, making it easier to get the exact look you want later in post. So the DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate profile is one of the best choices for color grading in DaVinci Resolve because it gives you a wide dynamic range and a broad color gamut. Unlike standard Rec 709 or other limited profiles, this one is designed specifically to preserve as much image information as possible, both in highlights and shadows. That means more flexibility when color grading, smoother gradients, and less chance of color banding. In short, it's the ideal starting point if you want the cleanest, flattest image to push your color grade further without losing quality. After basic adjustments, I head to the top settings in MLV App, click on the gear icon, and select Cinema DNG Uncompressed as my export format. So why this format? Cinema DNG Uncompressed gives you the highest possible quality from your raw footage. Every frame is exported as a full DNG image without any compression. That means no loss of detail and maximum flexibility for color grading later in DaVinci Resolve. This format also works perfectly with professional workflows, especially when you want to treat your footage like true digital film. The downside, of course, is that it creates very large files, but if image quality is your top priority, this is the way to go. I just want to say, this is my personal workflow and preference. Like many of you, I'm still experimenting and learning along the way. If you have your own approach or experience working with MLV files, feel free to share it in the comments. Let's turn this video into a little knowledge hub for the Magic Lantern community. I think it could be really helpful for everyone. So, once we've converted our MLV files, it's time to jump into DaVinci Resolve for color grading. Now, I'm not going to walk you through every single step of my grading process, mainly because it's never exactly the same. It really depends on the mood I'm going for or how I want the footage to feel. But what I will show you are the basics, the steps I always include in my workflow, no matter the project. Once I've imported my DNG clips into DaVinci Resolve, I head straight to the Camera Raw tab. Here's where I begin shaping the base look of the footage. Let me walk you through the first 5 settings I use. First up is decode quality. I usually leave this on, use project setting. It's a good balance between speed and quality, but if you're aiming for maximum detail, you can switch it to full res later. Next, I set decode using to clip. This gives me full control over each individual file rather than applying a global project setting. Super useful for matching shots filmed under different lighting. Then I change white balance to custom. That unlocks the color temp and tint sliders, which I use to dial in a neutral tone. In this example, I've gone with 5400 Kelvin and added a slight tint shift. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Moving on to color space, I select Blackmagic Design, and for gamma, I go with Blackmagic Film. This combo gives me a flat, desaturated image that's perfect for grading later on. As for the rest of the settings, sharpness, highlights, shadows, and so on, those really depend on your footage and what you're trying to bring out. Maybe you want to recover blown out highlights or add contrast to lift the shadows. In this case, I'll do just a few small tweaks, and yep, I think this already looks much better. After setting my raw adjustments, I always follow up with a color space transform node. In this case, I'm using DaVinci Wide Gamut and DaVinci Intermediate as my input color space, and Gamma, and converting it to Rec 709 with Gamma 2.4 for final output. This tells DaVinci Resolve exactly what kind of color information it's working with, that the footage was exported from MLV App using the DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate profile, and how it should look once it's ready for display. Using color space transform like this is a professional and non-destructive way to convert your flat, high dynamic range image into something that looks great on any screen, without losing important color or detail. It also gives me a predictable starting point for my color grading, making the entire process much smoother and more consistent. If you're working with raw footage and want full control over your colors, this workflow is highly recommended, and it's what I personally use on almost every project. And that's pretty much the base setup I follow in almost every video I make. Of course, depending on the mood or creative direction, I might add a few extra nodes like a soft contrast curve, a creative LUT, maybe a glow effect, or even some color isolation for stylized looks. But what I've shown you here is the part of my workflow that never really changes. It's the foundation, the reliable starting point I always build from. Everything else, well, that just depends on the story I want to tell and the creative vision behind each project. So, I really hope you found today's video helpful. Honestly, I don't think I shared anything groundbreaking, but if even one part of this workflow helped you or answered a question you've had, then I'm glad I took the time to share it. Most importantly, I hope I was able to finally answer one of the most common questions I see in the comments: how I handle my post-production process. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, take care of yourself, and see you in the next video.